What's up? Okay, talking kind of soft because it's nighttime and I don't want to disturb anybody. But I was planning to have out today a little short animation about if I'm a morning or a night person. And it was just a roller coaster to get through, and I'm just not going to be able to finish it tomorrow, I don't think. And I was actually planning to get out this sort of video the week after, but I guess that's going to have to change because I have to come out with something tomorrow, so it's going to be this. So, just to start you off, I got the drawing tablet, and then I had been having some problems with Krita, being that whenever I rendered it, it was just a black screen with audio, and I didn't really like that. I wanted to see what I wanted to do. I also wanted to be able to edit the audio. That's why you could hear all my breathing and stuff like that, because I couldn't edit the audio. There's nothing I could edit after I animated it, but whenever I put it on YouTube could read it just fine. Just nothing on my computer could. My editing software couldn't, my computer itself couldn't. It was just a black screen with the audio. So I went to try some other animating softwares, and I went back to Krita. At first I thought it was cool. First I tried OpenTunes, and OpenTunes was really cool. It was a lot quicker to do frames, it was a lot quicker to do all that, but OpenTunes is when I discovered vector layers. I don't know much about animation at all, really, and I do hand-drawn. So I'm used to, erasing, and most of it is fine, really. The main problem is the eraser in a vector is insane, and I tried to just change it to a raster layer, but it was difficult, and I couldn't do it. So then I spent literally 2 days straight looking up all these OpenTune stuff because I didn't want to have to go through. There were tutorials. The tutorials were so long, and I have the attention span of a squirrel. The only reason that I'm able to sit down and animate all that is because I listen to a podcast while I'm doing it, and it keeps me focused. Otherwise, I'll actually end up getting out of my seat without even realizing it and running in circles. But I was trying so hard to figure out OpenTunes, and I just couldn't. There was just so much I didn't understand, but I figured I was going to understand it eventually, right? Because I was just on a rough learning curve. And so I could never figure out how to erase it right, and I tried to change it to a raster layer, but every time I opened a new layer, after changing the settings to raster, like everything was telling me to do, it wasn't opening to a raster layer. So I didn't know what to do. So I restarted it, and then it worked fine, and then I worked on it, and then I don't even remember what went wrong that time, but I exited out, and then I reopened, and it saved absolutely nothing. Well, actually, no, it saved it, and it said that file was open, which meant I couldn't reopen it because I had the little red dot next to it, and I couldn't open it, and on the top, it didn't say I was on that file, but whenever I tried to open a file, the little red dot in my files said that, and basically there was no way that I could edit it, I guess, anymore. Like, it was just gone. So I did like 3 days worth of work, and I got absolutely nothing done. I was still right where I started. But one good thing that I did discover was stabilizer. Those are really cool. You draw a line, and then all of a sudden it turns into a smooth line. Have you seen my rough lines? Ugh, a miracle. So then I tried out Pencil 2D, and at first I liked it more. I was just like, oh, this is simpler, But then I couldn't figure out how to open new frames, and honestly, at this point, I don't even remember the problem. I just remember I could not get past the first frame. I also remember somehow I had a lot of issues with the whole layers weren't matching up. Like, I couldn't figure out how to get something over another thing, and what they said online wasn't matching up to what was happening on the grid, and there were these random spots popping up that I couldn't get rid of. They weren't on any of the layers, and it was just basically I couldn't get frames, and it was a mess. So that left me, like 5 days in, nothing done. And finally, I just switched back to Krita. It works wonderfully. All I have to do is draw a line, and then open a new frame and draw another line. It's beautiful. I can erase the line whenever I want. Messed with vector layers on Krita. Still didn't like it, but I did discover Krita has a stabilizer, but it's not like the other stabilizer I had. It's more of like, instead of you drawing a line and then it fixes it after you let go, it fixes it as you're going. And so that causes a bit of a delay, and I don't like the delay because it almost feels like laggy, and it's hard to tell what I'm doing, and it throws me off. So my stabilizer is very, very, very low. So it makes a very small difference. So my lines are still definitely shaky, but I still think it makes a good difference. And then I was really, really trying. I was working a lot. Like, even though I got nothing done, I was working quite a bit to try my best to get a video out on Tuesday because I want to upload once a week. I want them to only be 1 minute because I do want to also work on bigger projects in the meantime, because even though it doesn't look like I'm super serious, I do like doing it, and I'm working on, like, at the moment, I want to work on like a dancing video and stuff. I don't know what I'll plan for the future. And I was working and working, and then my nephew got home. So I packed everything in my laptop case, and somewhere, either putting it all up, bringing it upstairs, packing it into the laptop case, somewhere in that trip, pen fell out. Not the pen, the tip of the pen. It fell out, and that was so frustrating because I wasn't very far in. I was maybe like 4 seconds in, which took me like a day and a half so far. So you can see 5 days plus day and a half. It is like middle of the night recording this. I'm gonna put it on the thing, and then I'm gonna upload that. And the tip of the pen is very, very small, but I probably would have been able to find out how to trace my steps. But right after I packed up my laptop, I was told it's cleaning day. So I had to vacuum everything. So I vacuumed everything up, and so it's most likely in a vacuum somewhere. So I know it's in the house, but it's so small. I really doubt I would be able to dig it out. And she has really tall carpet. There's a lot of fluff in there. I just don't think I'm going to be able to find it. So it's just been really bad luck with me going through hours of YouTube videos, discovering like bug after bug after bug. I found so many bugs. Like everything I looked up seemed to be like a bug report. And unfortunately, I can't really remember much of it, but I just remember I hate vector layers. I love stabilizers. I don't understand Pencil 2D. And there was a lot less resources out there for Pencil 2D, but I still kind of had the same amount of help because people on Pencil 2D, like, they asked the simple questions that I wanted to know, whereas people on OpenTunes seemed to know what they were talking about. And if you wanted to have an answer to a simple question, you had to watch like the 2-hour-long tutorials and find the specific spot where you had a question. And it took me like actually an hour to figure out how to edit my pen in OpenTunes, and it took me like half a day to figure out how to erase things because vector erasers and that whole point editor, I mean, it's a good idea and concept, but I don't like to erase simply to smooth things out. I want to erase the entire thing and redraw it. I don't know if there's a way that you can actually just take that and move it to however you'd like. Maybe there very well is, because most people, animate differently than redrawing the entire thing. Maybe, not sure, but that's not how I like to do it. I like to just quickly erase it, and it just, I only got like 1 frame done on each, and that took me like basically the whole week, and then I got like 3 seconds done on this because the first like 3 seconds involved a lot of moving, and so there was it was like I finished about 100 frames, which isn't very much at all because there's so much movement each individual frame I had to draw. So there's no way I'm going to be able to get that video out because I've lost my pen tip. So it's been like a bad luck week, but hopefully I can come back for this, and I really, really hope I can get back up on schedule so that way I can have enough time to work on that dancing video, because the whole point of me uploading a 1-minute video every week is that it takes me about 3 days to do the 1-minute video, and then the other 4 days I can focus working on the really hard dancing video, so that way I don't have to take a super long break to make that.